Back on Aurora Shores in Way the Hunter today after quite possibly our best hunt ever on this map last time. We were able to take down a 5-star and a melanistic caribou and make this multi-mount, and the more we get to do this, the more and more this lodge is going to fill up. So changing it up just a little bit today, we've brought Wallace along with his 350, which is, I feel like, a gun he would definitely use. So got some caribou actually walking right at us. I've not called, they just happen to be moving this way. And I think if we can sidestep these trees, that guy is very much uneven and very much going to drop in his tracks with, I'm only going to call it a slightly overpowered weapon. It really is, it's a tier 6 gun, but it's barely a tier 6. I feel like it's honestly a just slightly better 1903. So we've got that and the Star SM12, and because we're pretty good in the credits department, I'm not terribly worried about a little bit of meat damage. Hard shot him at 64 yards. That was actually a 69%er, which is encouraging because, I mean, you look at this, very uneven, and a lot of the other caribou there look pretty good. So fitting to start off with that, and I mean, we lose a little bit of meat, but still not too bad. There are just certain parts of this map that we really don't hunt. Like, I'm not even sure I'm aware of which herd of bison this is, but a 1-star mature definitely needs taken out, and just up over the hill, what looked to be a really subpar moose as well. So these are things that maybe we can kind of help out, and you never know. Like last time, we went to a spot we hadn't been for a while, and there was a melanistic caribou right there. Caribou specifically because they only live to 8 years old. If there's spots we completely ignore for a couple of years, we can miss out on something really cool. Better up close than he looked like in the distance, so good thing we didn't just try to go for a really long shot before spotting him. We'll grab our 1-star mature bison and move right along then, and we can be quite confident this is going to be pretty subpar genetics. Actually hit the brain on that. Not too bad from the SM12, 45%. And actually, you know, this is not a bad spot for bison. We're just south of the swamp up here, which tends to be quite good for them. So I think that's actually something we want to work on improving. Man, we might just have another one. That's a 4-star caribou? He looks really, really good though. I actually saw him in the distance. I thought he might have been a 5. And I went back to get the better scope just to take a better look. And of course we had to scoot in to spot him. He's got to be right on the precipice, but he is not like silvery gray as if he's about to die. So hopefully we get to see the outcome of that in this video. Couple of 2-stars though, and when you've got one that at least you think is potentially 90 plus, trying to manage those herds in those kinds of areas, that can really help with the offspring. So we're going to take a close look, see if there's anything uneven or maybe notably weaker genetics. And ironically, the one I'm kind of looking at is this 1-star adult. He is uneven. You can see it's more kind of palmated on his left side. So with him stopping, can stick a 350 round behind his shoulder. Look at that. I mean, he looks just like the 5-stars. Maybe a touch smaller, but like he's brown. My one concern is he's so young looking. He might still be a 4-star in the next age cycle. We may need 2 to actually get him to 5. We'll see though. We definitely have the time to pass at least 1 age cycle in this video, maybe 2. And we still gotta go and take a look at our melanistic moose, hopefully after a cycle to see what he looks like and all that. But I like the direction things are moving up here. That's a 1-star mountain goat, might as well try to pop him too. Don't love the 350, so we're gonna go with the SM12 instead. Maybe he will slow down just a little bit for us. Any kind of angle I feel decent enough with this gun. A lot of blood knocked him down. He's going to get back up, but I'm not going to worry too much about that. Let's go and take a look at the caribou. And I'm not even going to say this guy will be low genetic potential. I bet 65, 70 plus, but he may still be the lowest in that herd, which is what we're looking for. Oh, actually 45. Wait a minute. That was a mature. Okay, well that makes sense. We did this in the last video too, just kind of assumed the age of a caribou that turned out to be way lower genetic potential because it was actually older than I thought. We will take it. Actually helps out potentially quite a bit then. And so maybe similar results for our 1-star mature mountain goat. Not too bad, 303 yards, double lunged him. Of course, 300 will kind of do that. 26% on that. I don't know what is going on there. Can kind of see a little bit of the jaw. I've never seen that before. I don't know if it's just that particular pose. Or maybe something screwed up with the mountain goat graphics. We'll have to pay attention because there is a 4-star right down by the campsite that we spawn at here. And I'm hoping maybe when we pass the cycle for our Caribou, we can take a look at that and see if he'll age as well. Whole bunch of goats up here, and actually maybe the same Caribou from that herd. Everything's going to take off, so we'll just move on out of here. That's actually not a bad Caribou. Got a 3-star mature there. I think this is maybe a 2-star back behind him. It is a 2-star mature. And then a couple out front that maybe we can take a closer look at also. I guess some wild ducks live here. I don't know if we just flushed them out or... Oh, hello. Alright. Why don't we? I guess try to kill a 5-star with a 350. Why not? That'll do. And we probably ought to check the rest of the flock. It is very common to get several big ducks in the same flock. And I think that's all just a matter of genetics. There's a 4-star right there, so something to pay attention to. They didn't spook. That's a tiny 1-star adult. Without having... There's some surf scotters too. Without having a ton of time, I say... we pop that. And then maybe we can spot these ducks. I'm thinking these are probably ones that we haven't spotted. So yet again, trying to get in areas that we just sort of overlook. And not only do we find some decent Caribou, had a 5-star mallard. There's a 3-star surf scotter in there, and we'll see, you know, maybe if that 3-star mature has a chance. I didn't get to even see how gray he was. There was too much going on. There is our 5-star duck. And you know, like I said at the beginning, the longer we do this, the more management we do, and the more, frankly, we just hunt around this map, the more we get to fill up this lodge. And one thing we are severely lacking on is the waterfowl. We have maybe 3 or 4 or 5-star ducks, 98% by the way. But they're all the wild ducks. That guy probably had another 2 or 3 years in him. The ducks actually live a long time. Only a 464, but we will take it. And, you know, I've been looking for the 5-star lesser scalp and surf scotters. We've seen 3 and 4 stars on this map. Never had a 5, so hopefully that's something we can also look forward to. But then our Caribou up here, like I said, I feel very confident that's low genetics. He actually is uneven on top of being really tiny. Double lunged him, 57%, so that will be all good. And we are kind of moving up this creek. I've got some zones up here. I never go up here because it's kind of a pain to hunt. You got to take it slow because it is just kind of brushy. But I think we're going to give it a shot here today. And perhaps worthwhile, we've got a 4-star mature mountain goat here. So another one to try to check on. I want to see if there's one in here maybe worth taking. A 1-star young when we've got a 4-star mature just isn't worth the risk. I think probably that back there is going to be a female. That's kind of the case with herds around here. They're not as big, but that is at least good to know. And that is indeed a female there. So we're kind of all the way north here. We do have some Caribou. The one up there, though, I believe, is just a solo 3-star mature. He's the only male, and therefore there's no real good reason to take him. He's got decent genes. I think we just kind of wait on that. Well, I can tell you with certainty, at some point here, we have passed an age cycle, because that's our melanistic moose. And he is completely different. Still looks really, really good. I want to go up there and take a look. But first we've got all these bison here, and we might as well do something rather than just spook them all. So I'm looking at these. I think they're all 1-star adults. Maybe minus that 1-star young. But this guy is so much grayer, and the fact that he's not a 2-star yet, I think we're okay to go ahead and try to pop him. So at this range, I expect the 300 to get him down pretty quickly. Not stumbling yet, but we definitely got a lung shot. And he's starting to maybe slow up, so we're just going to keep an eye on him. And while we're waiting, I'm going to place a marker up there because that is exactly where we're headed. And you know, just thinking of our melanistic moose, and of course we have a second one that we've spotted now that we're trying to age up. We've got the albino bison. Goodness gracious, 19%. Good thing we shot that. The walls of our trophy lodge are going to fill up when we eventually take these rares and put them on the full body platforms. I'm looking forward to adding, more variety. We really only have those 2 5-star bison. Managing those, hopefully it can start to improve that too. So, unsurprisingly, still a 2-star adult. I'm not sure if Alaska Moose actually get to 3-star adult. I don't think they typically do. But actually, we've got some caribou walking down here. A couple of pretty poor genetics. 2 1-star matures. I wanted to maybe get a little bit closer and take a closer look at our moose. What I think we'll do, I don't know if he'll respond. I'm going to hit a high fitness collar. If he'll turn towards us, at least we can see that. And of course, it seems like he does not care at all. So, I guess we're going to try to just get the caribou then. Because they are still priority number 1, outside of making sure we continue to pass time and age up that guy. So, it's these 2 on the right. Actually, all of them really. But actually, I guess technically that's the biggest one. Well, whatever we can kind of get a shot at, we'll go for. Because frankly, I think all 3 need to go down. That is really unfortunate because they actually did what I wanted, but we didn't have an additional round loader. Oh, just behind that one. So I think we're only going to get the 1. There's a red fox coming running out of there. And at least we get to help the herd out a little bit. 65%, so nothing too crazy there. And we're kind of moving on up through here towards the center of the map. I would have liked to have gotten a better look at that melanistic, but I'm hoping to pass at least 1 more age cycle yet because of that 4-star caribou. And hopefully we can take a closer look then. Well, wouldn't you know it, they're actually sitting right up here waiting on us. And the nice thing is, the 1-star adult here next to him, I'm pretty sure is uneven. Yeah, definitely uneven, so we want to go ahead and take that. But before we do, just going to take a second to appreciate how big that guy is as a 2-star adult. I really, really like it. Before this one moves, though, going to go ahead and pop him. Still working on these genetics because who knows what else may come out of this herd. I really do feel, though, just based on everything we've seen from him, in the, I'm thinking maybe 7 years we've had him on our map now, so nearly halfway to the max, which feels like it's going to take forever, but most of that's been in the last couple of weeks. He looks like exactly what I think a 5-star moose should look like when he's younger. As for this guy, not what I think a 5-star moose should look like at this age. Wow, 88% though? That is wild. Because, I mean, uneven as heck. That is for sure. Kind of the rare, completely uneven rack that actually is high genetics. So, I think that would have been a 5-star. Actually, I'm quite confident it would have been. Never would have guessed. That would have been one that we have to be careful about. So hopefully that means the melanistic is north of that. That is so odd though. I wonder if he'd have been uneven, like, towards his peak age. Red deer can do that. They're one of the few that get uneven 5-stars. Maybe moose can do it too. I can't say I've seen it though. What? There's a 5-star red fox. This is literally the exact same lake as our 5-star caribou. I had no inclination that there was even a decent fox here. Boy, of all days to carry 2 big guns, I think we're going to shoot this thing with the 350. Could we be patient and go and grab another gun? Yes. Do I have any clue where these things' zones actually are? No. And this thing has to end up in our lodge. 0 for 109. Gonna go ahead and pop him. I don't care 1 iota about that hunt rating right now. That is a 5-star I've wanted for forever. And really, I kind of wanted it on Nez Perce because we've got nearly everything from that map. Other than Red Fox, I'm trying to think. I guess Lesser Scott might be the only thing we're missing. And then we find a 5-star here on Aurora Shores. Didn't quite get the heart shot, but we've got the expansion damage to bring him down 94%er. Okay, yeah, I forgot their scores are broken, so he's 503. Not sure what he would be if it wasn't broken. Given the fact that he's 94%, I would imagine, I don't know, 470, 480 would be fairly typical for something in that range. That was wild. All right, so do we do it again? I'm not sure if there's a multi-mount for red fox and wild duck, but I think we're going to go find out. Literally, I've got a marker up there for 1,300 yards. We're just killing time. I mean, that's the entire point here, right? We're trying to pass time and age things up. And I was just going to go for a walk and see if we could find anything interesting. We'll come back to that. I want to see what we can do. I'm not seeing one for wild duck. There is one for snowshoe hare and surf scotter. I kind of like the snowshoe hare better. And you can very clearly see the tail's clipping a little bit here. So let's do this. We'll go ahead and put our 5-star there. And for the sake of completing them out, we need a male snowshoe, I think it had said. So we'll probably go and try to get one. There's one spot that I kind of know where snowshoe hares are. Up close, these red fox models are actually fairly solid. At a distance, sometimes they look a little bit odd, but it's a nice looking mount. Well, we got a little closer than intended. Gonna try to pick one of these out. There's like a 2-star mature. They don't live that long, so I think that would be fine. Why not? And because we used the 350 for the fox, how did that miss? I think it's that one there. Oh, that didn't miss. That looked a little violent. All right, did we get the correct one? Actually, somehow got between the lungs and the head. 53% and the 2-star mature indeed. So quickly we will complete that mount, then we'll get back on track where we were headed. And I talked earlier about eventually those rares that we're after being placed on these full body platforms. This will be a thing that we walk by quite a bit in hopefully the very near future. So snowshoe hare added to the mount. Pretty darn cool. So kind of interesting. We've made it back this far. Now there's a 2-star mature red fox standing there. I don't know, like, we come up here quite a bit because obviously we had good caribou genetics. We got the 5-star here and numerous 3 and 4 stars that we would consistently keep an eye on, only to be disappointed up until the last one. So to never know there were any decent fox around here, I don't understand that. That guy is dead on 67%. Not actually sure he was the greatest thing to shoot, but considering we got our 5-star, I'm not terribly worried about it, and frankly, 70-ish%, sub 70 usually is okay. I just don't know where our red fox genetics are at. I don't imagine super great, but good enough to get 1.5. Well, that is interesting. We have certainly passed another age cycle, and I know that because our caribou looks completely different. He's got the really tall 4-star rack, and that's, as far as I know, the 5-star rack is almost identical to that. And I'm not sure now if he'll end up making it or not. I'm hoping maybe we can sidestep this tree and get a better look at that. I really, as far as the 5-star racks go, I think I like the one that all 3 of our 5 stars have. But I want this other one because it is really unique. And it looks really, really nice. We also have in here a 3-star there. And whatever that guy is, I want to take a quick look with the binos. That is going to be, well, that's also a 3-star. Good things happening in this herd of caribou, but unfortunately, nothing to shoot. So I want to check on that mountain goat. It should be back there somewhere. I just didn't see it. Almost has to be in like a rarely used zone because it is always right in front of this campsite. So go figure. The time we pass the cycle, he's not actually right here in front of us. Now these caribou though, I think there may be a couple worth taking out. Like that's super uneven there for a 1-star adult. So why don't we get him? And we do have that other 4-star goat that we had spotted too, so gonna go ahead and pop that. And we'll pay attention here, just in case that mountain goat would pop out. I don't see him. I'm not really sure where the rarely used zone is. I mean, maybe it's north of here. Probably ought to at least look for that. So this guy, 48%er, so interesting. I mean, the genetics down here looked so subpar. And then literally 500 yards north, 2 3-stars and a 4-star. I think that really shows. I mean, we definitely focus on that herd more because what happens is we spawn at the campsite. I try to spot them because there's always good ones. And then this herd spooks. So we don't get to manage it as much. And it's really, really lacking in comparison. I kind of think this mountain goat has died and been replaced with a 1-star young because it's a small herd like this. and there was a 3 and 4 star mature. Thinking they both died, and now we have a couple of 1 stars. Man, I so wish that was a 5, because that just, it's so different than the others. And that multi-mount we have up on the wall, having 2 5-star Caribou that look completely different would be awesome. I'm still not convinced he's like dead next year gray. So hopefully he makes it. But man, does this herd have potential, even if he doesn't. We'll be back here for sure in the future, but we have another goat to take a peek at. He was somewhere up in that area. Well, that's a interesting outcome. Still a 4-star there, so clearly he was a little bit younger. And we had, what, 3 4 stars to check on. 2 are still 4 stars, and 1 is very much dead. But what I'll call the finale for this video is going to be a final look at our melanistic moose, because yet again, he should be a year older. And looking promising as ever, with Wallace back there driving like an absolute maniac to get us into this position. But now we've kind of combined the last 2 racks. We've got this palmation, pretty significant spread, and now it's got the split brows back. Pretty darn cool, so I do want to jump out and spot him. I'm assuming he's still a 2-star adult. Again, I don't think 3-star adults happen. Jeez, driving like a maniac indeed. So, 2-star adult, and if I'm not mistaken, he is now 8 years old. I've not done a great job of tracking that. Whenever he gets to mature, then we'll write down exact years so we know precisely where we are in the age cycles for all that. Got a bunch of red fox, ironically enough, walking. There's a 3-star. You know, maybe our management efforts have started to pay off for them. And clearly, as we got a 5-star caribou last time, 5-star duck this time, management efforts generally, as we pass through these age cycles, are beginning to get us somewhere. Going into this hunt, like, I kind of knew we had some potential. We had the goats and the caribou, and even the 4-star moose that was outside this lodge, by the way. I think he died, which is wild. I thought he was going to make it for sure. And we kill a 5-star wild duck and a 5-star red fox. Things that I had not even considered on that list. Definitely one of my absolute favorite mounts. And I don't know if we'll ever get a 5-star snowshoe here. Maybe we luck into one. I would like to think, considering how many red fox we saw without getting one, and it's finally happened, eventually we can get the snowshoe too. But I'm really looking forward to, you know, 3-4 weeks down the line, when we can really put time in here, and at the rate we're going with the trophies that we're getting, what this lodge looks like. Because I really like it now, but there is a lot to improve about it. And adding some rares in here would really make it look a whole lot better. So anyway, that is going to do it for this video. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.